So from the point of recruitment, the way we actually interview, select, and screen for talents has changed, right? So it's no longer, can you do this? Do you have these skills? Kind of thing. We will be asking questions like, tell me about a time when you actually overwrite and overrule a data that comes from actually AI or research. And then it turned out to be you are right? And also things like, can you solve ambiguous problems? Now, if you know AI, you have to feed them some kind of information. You have to direct them before they can actually churn out a result or a findings for you. Now, what if you really have nothing, right? So this is where human actually comes to play. So can you solve ambiguous problems? Can you tell me a scenario or a situation that you actually did that? And for those who are leading a team, you'll be asking, have you or can you actually lead a AI-enabled team? So you probably have this transition now or experience it already. So you are leading maybe 8 people, and 4 of them are, Gen Ys, millennials, and they come up with really a lot of data that you couldn't process yourself or you don't even know yet. And they're telling you things that is more advanced than what you already know. So with that, can you actually lead an AI-enabled team, and how do you do it? So in actual fact, implementing AI is actually not that expensive. One license starts from $20 to about $200. It's actually not that expensive. The real risk and expensive risk and also cost come from actually if you don't know how to use the tools that you invested. So if you see the survey there as well, 51% of Malaysian companies, they are still facing implementation challenges, and 37 of them admits that they are still not very aware of how it can actually be maximized, right? And 40% of Malaysian organizations have no system for employees to raise AI-related matters. Now, what is AI-related concerns is actually about privacy, it's about data security, it's about compliance. So these are things that, if you keep putting in, if you check AI and you say a lot of private things, you want to go here holiday, and it keep capturing that. And you know that if that is just your private ones, what about work? So you'll be putting a lot of work information in there and how it's going to be used eventually. So faster is not the same as better. So sometimes as a leader, we kind of look left and right to our neighbors, competitors, and all that. They say, wow, they're adopting this AI, they're using cloud, they are launching a new product, and you want to be there as well. But word of caution is faster adoption is not always the better ones. So the key thing is, one thing I learned from here is that you still need human to have the curiosity, the critical thinking part, the courage, and also the character. So one of the examples I can tell you while I was in Nepal in the Himalayas, it's great that I have created a team that I can really rely on and trust. The only thing that came back to me that was a little bit, I would say, new to them, and something that they cannot actually solve with either AI or things like that is, hey, Michelle, we have someone that had a stroke, and the only breadwinner of the family, what do we do? So those are the human part of things that technology or platforms or tools or AI cannot solve, right? Another context would be, we are bidding for a job that is worth 20 million, and at the end we lost it. So what do? You can't put that in AI and say, hey, tell me what do I do now that I lost a 20 million bid. So this is something that you have to internalize as a human. So not all scenarios can be solved with AI. So back to the empty chair just now where I started with, when if you have a leader or someone that you rely on, or even yourself going away for weeks and months, how would your operations operate? So this is going back to the empty chair. Number one is great leaders actually make intelligence transferable. And in the real AI era, our job as a leader, it's just like just now, right? So you actually create the dance, develop the dancers, and also trust the performance that people will do well. So just now, the whole performance was only in my head. I had other plans and all that, but I think, as a leader, you actually need to be agile in the sense of how you're going to work around with the situations and the people and the talent that you have. Yes. So a team that thrives in your absence is a proof that you have led really well. So Malaysia, you have great adoptions. And just now I missed out the statistics. Our adoption is about 93%. It's actually higher than India. And the average is about 79% globally. So Malaysian is really gung-ho, everything new and AI, they will actually adopt really fast. So the key question is, how do you build the judgment layer on top on what is best? So this is just to wrap up, yesterday's and tomorrow's organization. You have the CEO, you have the manager, employees. Sometimes got technology, sometimes don't. But I think with COVID, we are actually all pushed into clouds and use platforms and technology even more faster. But tomorrow's organization is actually with a CEO, and you have human leaders, and you have AI agents that actually can continuous to learn and apply with probably more efficiency, less errors, and then you have automation in between, and the lower ones, especially if you're in service industries, you have to have the humans that supervise exceptions. So with that, thank you. I end my speech.